This is a demonstration video for I Love You But, a social app that helps friends mutually cancel calendar events. I'll walk you through the Google OAuth authentication flow and show exactly how our app uses Google Calendar data. Let me demonstrate the sign-in process. I'll click Sign In with Google to start the OAuth flow. As you can see in the URL bar, we're now on accounts.google.com. This is Google's official authentication page. The user selects their Google account here. Now, because we're not verified, let me click through. This is the auth consent screen. It shows our app name, I Love You But. And here, it displays the permissions we're requesting. We request access to Google Calendar to read and modify events. The user can see our privacy policy and terms of service linked at the bottom. Specifically, we request calendar access so we can identify events shared between friends and update those events when all parties agree to cancel. When a user clicks Continue, they're granting our app permission to access their calendar data. The user is now authenticated and redirected back to our app. Now I'll demonstrate how we use the calendar data. The app reads the user's Google Calendar to find events that have 2 or more people attending. Here you can see the user's upcoming events. When a user sees an event, they will see the date and time, as well as any of the other attendees, and a countdown timer to how long they have left to bail on the event. The core feature of our app is the anonymous bail vote. If a user secretly wants to cancel plans, they can tap the bail button. Their vote is completely anonymous. No one else can see it. I'll cast a vote now. Notice that my vote is recorded but remains private. Only I can see that another person needs to cancel on this event or bail on this event before we both get notified. The vote has been recorded, so at this point no changes have been made to the Google Calendar. We're simply storing the user's preference in our own database. Now let me explain when and why we write to Google Calendar. A write operation only happens when all attendees of an event have voted to bail. We call this a mutual bail. When a mutual bail is detected, all participants are notified that everyone wanted to cancel. Only at this point does our app update the Google Calendar. The calendar modification marks the event as canceled or updates its status, so it's reflected in everyone's Google Calendar. This is the only scenario where we write to the user's calendar when there is a unanimous agreement to cancel, such as here. In this case, my other attendee had also chosen to bail on this event, and therefore when I did, I now am given the option to update the event in Google Calendar. If I choose yes, I have an option to decline the event, or since I am the organizer, I have the option to delete the event. In this case, I'll simply decline. To summarize how I Love You But uses Google Calendar data. First, we read calendar events to identify shared events between app users and display them in our interface. Second, we only write to the calendar when all participants in an event have mutually agreed to cancel. We do not store complete calendar data on our servers. We only store minimal event metadata needed to match bail votes. We do not share Google Calendar data with any third parties. We do not use calendar data for advertising or any purpose other than providing our app's core features. That concludes the demonstration of I Love You But's OAuth flow and Google Calendar integration. Thank you for reviewing our application.